Hey guys, I'm just going to be uploading some of my PTCGO games. I came to realize that there's actually pretty few games. I mean, the Top Cut throws a lot of them up on it, and there's a couple other guys, but really kind of want to upload, maybe just a couple videos a week, maybe a video every day. We'll see how often I'm playing Pokemon Online. Yeah, we'll see where this channel goes. So, I'm using a Darkrai deck. It's kind of the only good deck that I have. I haven't spent any money on code cards other than the ones that I got at a pre-release, which was for Plasma Storm. So, the only ones that this really used from Plasma Storm are Hypnotoxic and Virbank. But Hypnotoxic goes a long way for Darkrai. I mean, if you have Dark Claw plus Hypnotoxic and Virbank, you can one-shot a Blastoise, and so it's really a good boost to Darkrai. It also takes care of like Terrakion, which before was Darkrai's biggest nemesis. Now it's just like Landorus, which isn't as much of a problem because Blastoise Keldeo is so popular. So I think it'll be a pretty interesting metagame for states. We have that new Plasma Clang, and I've played that a couple of times with Darkrai, and it really should have a bad matchup, but I've won 5 out of 5 games against it. So just kind of keeping the Clinks off the field, I do okay. So getting to this game, my opponent has a Tornadus EX out, and I'm really not sure what he's playing here. Whether it's just like big basics or maybe a Ho-Oh EX deck, but it looks like he's using Pokedex or Ether Decks, so I wouldn't guess he's playing both that and Ho-Oh for energy acceleration. And he plays Bicycle, which is such a joke. I hate Bicycle so much. I know people rave about it, but they're trolling you. I hate to break it to you, and I'm probably going to receive a lot of flack for this statement, but I mean, honestly, supporters are all you generally need. There's a couple of insane plays that if you get just the right thing off the Bicycle, you'll do okay, but for the most part, just throw in another random receiver, and it'll be better off than the Bicycle. It's like there he's playing a Bicycle, and nothing's really gonna help him but a supporter, and the supporter actually would help him way more, unless one of the last 2 cards are a supporter. So I'm still asleep, unfortunately, so I was really kind of hoping to pull off a good Night Spear, at least turn 3, but I'm going to be taking the poison damage unless I can get my Keldeo, and I already have like 2 of my Dark Patches in the discard, and I have one in my hand and I can't really use it, and I really just want to Juniper this hand away. I have too many supporters, and I do use a lot of supporters because, well, supporters are the best form of speed. It's way better than Bicycle. And I get an energy switch, and I get a Dark Claw, but I don't get the Keldeo, so I'm going to be taking a lot of poison damage. Think about that, 60 extra poison damage. If he can blow through here, he could do 60 more, but he ends up still being asleep, so it's a lucky flip on my part. And I might just keep my Darkrai alive. Another Bicycle. I bet he wishes there was a supporter. Gosh, I hate Bicycle so much, but turns out he does have the supporter too, so I mean, I guess you gotta draw like 2 extra cards. Woohoo. I mean, I guess if you have room for Bicycle, go ahead and use it, but he's playing Super Scoop Up too. That's just, I don't know. Super Scoop Up is too dependent on flips. But I guess with, Hypnotoxic Laser can get you out of a pinch. I really hate Bicycle. I don't hate the card itself, I just hate that everybody thinks it's actually like a good card, when in actuality it's just kind of a filler card if you have nothing else to use. And at this point, there's a lot of easy counters to the metagame. I mean, extra supporters are always a good idea. you can use like Enhance Hammer, get rid of plasma energies and things like that for Articuno, or double colorless energies. Tool Scrapper is a great tech against Garbodor, and even not against Garbodor. I mean, if he had a Tool Scrapper right now, that would significantly help him, because I mean, he has 100 damage on that Tornadus, and I can knock it out with my Dark Claw there. So, yeah, Tool Scrapper, much better choice than Bicycle. That's all I'm trying to say. So here, I really want to get the damage off of my, off of the poison off of my Darkrai. So I kind of want to grab a Keldeo, but the problem is I can't like rush in and then attach and retreat, because I already attached for the turn. And I do have an energy switch, but if I use Ultra Ball, I can discard, you know, like Hypnotoxic and an energy, search out for the Keldeo, and then I could use Computer Search, but then I'd have to discard the rest of my hand, and that's really not going to work, except for the energy switch, of course. So I really kind of didn't want that to happen. And this way, I know I discarded my N, but that's because, well, first off, I'm going to be drawing 2 prizes this turn. So I have a good shot at getting one of my 15, 16 supporters. I think I just used 15 now, and that's including 3 random receivers. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe I only used 13. That's kind of low. Might want to throw another one of another supporter in, maybe just like a Charon. Use a couple of Skylas, mostly for turn 1 donks, like Sableye with Dark Claw and an energy can really donk like a Squirtle, a Clink, things like that. So, and that's one of the things that I've really used against Plasma Clang is Dark Claw and a Sableye, and it only does 30 damage, but you add that Hypnotoxic damage, and then you have to get around the sleep, you have to get around the confusion, so it can add up, and if nothing else, it makes them waste their switches. So I do get an N off of the prizes, so that was nice, and at this point I can pretty much lay down my hand when I N too. So yeah, it looks like he's just using a big basic stack, and I'm not sure I like Cobalion in there. Colress is another one I really don't particularly like. It's definitely better now than it would have been in the past. Just because setup decks are more popular, you know, people want to have 2 Squirtles on the benches, things like that. Clinklang's going to have a lot, but I mean, I play Darkrai, so of course I'm not going to use Colress. I don't want that many people on the bench. And I'm not going to be able to Night Spear this turn, so that kind of sucks, but I should be able to set it up so that next turn I can Night Spear. And I'm going to Junk Hunt. I have a random receiver, so I don't really need to grab the Computer Search for the supporter, and I end up grabbing the Dark Patch and the Energy Switch because I can random receiver for any supporter, really. I mean, N will give me 4 cards, so that's pretty good odds of getting an energy. And then so they'll knock out my Sableye, I'll send out my Darkrai, I can Dark Patch onto the Darkrai on the bench, I can energy switch it so the one in battle has 2, and then I just need 1 energy, which I can get off of my supporter. And I draw the energy that I need, so I have all of the tools that I need for a Night Spear right now, which is just great. And I don't know why I did this, but I ended up going with the bench one because my original plan was to, you know, if I had like an N off the random receiver, I would do it to the benched one first because, well, no, I don't know. I have no idea what I was thinking. But it's not going to make a difference, you know. Either way, I'm going to spend the same amount of cards. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And I finally get that Keldeo, which is really nice with all the Hypnotoxic lasers flying around. And I'm going to put the 30 on the Tornadus EX, just because with 90, then I can knock him out with another spear, not even using Dark Claw. So I know he runs Super Scoop Up, but that's dependent on flips, and I'd rather, you know, I don't have a supporter right now, so I don't have a catcher even. So I figure just play it safe, assume I don't get a Dark Claw, and prep him for the KO that way. So he ends up ending me though, and I still don't have a supporter. So that's rather unfortunate. But I'm going to get the Keldeo back. And that's going to allow me to put down, you know, as many Darkrai's on the bench as I want, because quite frankly, it's not going to matter if he catches them out. I can just, you know, rush and retreat. So here, I don't really want to put it on the Tornadus because, well, I know he runs Super Scoop Up. And so I'm going to put it on the Mewtwo. With the Dark Claw and a Hypnotoxic Laser, I'm going to be able to KO that Mewtwo. So I really just need a Dark Claw. But, you know, a catcher is all I really need to win, because I can just knock out that Tornadus EX. He only has 2 cards in his hand. Well, 3, I guess. Unless it's a Bicycle. But no, he does get the Juniper here. And, so I don't know. It's going to be tough for him to pull this one out. I don't like Ether decks either. I'd much prefer to see Ho-Oh. You know, Ether decks needs to run 8 cards to be effective, and Ho-Oh needs like just varied energy, which doesn't really make a difference in big basics. You know, Mewtwo doesn't care, Tornadus doesn't care, and the ones that do care, just, you know, throw a little bit more of a focus on them. And then you have Ultra Balls, which you should be playing anyway. Now he does get the Super Scoop Up here, so that's kind of unfortunate. Now I need Dark Claw in addition to the catcher and Hypnotoxic in my hand in order to win this game. And if he can Ether Dex a little bit, maybe Hypnotoxic me, he can easily knock out that Darkrai. And you know, I think all 3 of my Dark Patches are in the discard, so that would be 6 energy in the discard. I think I use 11 in this deck, and 1's already out in the field. I'm trying to think if I have any energy switches. If he can knock out this Darkrai, I could be in trouble. But I draw the Skyla, which is exactly the supporter I needed. As much as I disliked Skyla in the past, there are some times that, you know, she just comes, and she's the perfect card that you need to grab the catcher, or in this case, grab the Dark Claw. So I will be able to catch her out the Mewtwo, use Hypnotoxic Laser, and then Night Spear for the KO. And, you know, not a bad game. It was definitely an interesting beginning with all the poison damage. So thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time.